every now and then I find myself in some pretty surreal situations.
That is the best score of my life.
This is definitely one of them.
We've been blessed to go to a few different shooting grounds, some of the best in the world. But this one is unlike anywhere I've ever been.
Welcome to the Sugar Shoot at Casa de Campo.
Most love I've had in a long time.
This week-long event consists of clay shooting, game shooting, socializing, live pigeon shooting, and plenty of time making new friends.
Here to compete, that's for sure.
I beat TGS.
You are TGS.
Today, we're going to look at the main event, the annual sugar shooting competition itself. But just to add some context, first and foremost for me is the shooting center. Beautifully manicured into the Dominican jungle. This place is a clay shooter's paradise. It's part of the wider Casa de Campo resort that has enough of everything for everyone. There's a hotel, villas, beaches, a marina, stables, a medieval village, world-class food, world-class golf. This place is impressive and I can't wait to take my family back there soon. But for now, enjoy the highs and lows of the Sugar Shoot.
So welcome to Casa de Campo Shooting Center. This place is unlike any shooting ground I have ever been to. It's carved into the Dominican Republic's jungle. And it's absolutely wonderful. The Sugar Shooting Tournament starts tomorrow, so we're going to meet up with Jake, check out what's going to be going on, get a little idea of what to expect, and maybe even have a practice.
This week is the 36th annual Sugar Shoot event. Game shooting Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is all driven game. The practice, sporting clays is always open. 5-stand competition is open. 50 bird, 2-man flurry. Pool shoot. Thursday we'll start with a 410 event. Friday's the first day of the main event. Done over 2 days, 100 on Friday, 100 on Saturday. Pigeon rings will be open. You can shoot as much or as little as you like. You're not going to want for anything. Cartridges will be everywhere.
Certainly one of the more special shooting grounds I've ever been to.
There's a little bit of everything for everybody. So if you're not really a sporting clay shooter, on every station there is a target that you are going to break, or one of the instructors, he will pretty much help you break it. We're not here to beat you up with long targets, you know?
They're not all easy.
Not all of them are easy.
Well, I do hope so. I think I need to go for a bit of a practice. See what Dominican clays are like.
Yeah.
What is essential at this point is to go and get my gun, meet up with Adam Calvert and have a practice, and if I haven't got it, hopefully he can put me right.
During this practice round, I got my first taste of Jake Pike's sneakiness. The targets themselves are simple, but they're also deceptively technical.
Sure. Mr. C, you won the sporting clays here last year.
Even a blind squirrel every now and again finds the odd nut, you know how it is.
What can we expect?
It's paradise, let's face it. I mean,
It's not bad.
My clients love it here, I love it here. I had the family here last week. The great thing is everybody takes it quite lightheartedly.
It's supposed to be fun.
It's supposed to be fun. Jake and the team put on a fantastic event. I mean, it's as slick as slick. Jake will tell you it's all easy, but there is some stuff that'll catch you out, as I just proved about 2 seconds ago.
Clearly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But equally, there's something there for everybody. Everybody can expect to go around and break a few targets, have a bit of fun, drink lots of water, wear lots of sunscreen, come and practice, squeeze the trigger, enjoy it, don't take it too seriously.
Practicing on a certain course setter's targets is important, and learning Jake's targets would prove extremely useful as this event unfolded.
All that time that Mr. Solomons has spent with you, he's wasted his life.
Yeah, he'd probably agree with that.
We made our way through the stands until we eventually ended up at the tower.
Let's go to the tour, the tower.
I mean, just look at this thing. Talk about a statement piece. This is wicked. We've got a couple of videos out at this point trying our hand at this. Be sure to check them out.
Do you shoot a lot of 410?
Never.
As the sun drew down, we cleaned up and headed over to the welcome evening, where we got the chance to eat great food, develop friendships, give our thanks to our gracious host, and book our time slots and squads for the competition. We woke up early and first thing we grabbed breakfast at the shooting centre. And now, to the jungle.
First down to the 100 and I'm up first. Pair of teal targets. Requires discipline. Let's see if I got any. It's nice to have a 12-4 back in my hands, to be honest. Perhaps didn't do that first stand justice. This stand's got a little rising going away, curling over the trees that shouldn't be too tough. And another one comes over and away over your shoulder. That's a tricky bird. You have to get it done quick, or else it's not much of a target and it drops into the trees. Looking forward to the course. The guys are really excited about it. So they said there's a few tasty stands, and a few that will certainly trip me up. I wasn't expecting it to be that first one, but I also know myself well enough to know that anything simple that I just need to point the gun at doesn't go as beautifully as it should.
Next up, we move towards the grouse layout. It has to be said, a grouse layout in the jungle is one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
I won't be your backup call.
How are you finding it?
So far, great targets.
My heart is on hold.
Obviously, I missed the simple going away ones.
I wasn't there for that pleasure.
Straight to the second two stands though. So it's all downhill from here.
Good. It's easy, but it's easy to miss.
That's not easy. I found myself adjusting for every shot.
If you come too far back to a normal hold point,
Oh,
it's
you'll
going
miss
to
it.
beat you.
Yeah.
You've got to go away from your comfort hold point, let the target come to your gun and kill it.
There hasn't been much outside of 40 yards,
No?
but everything is still quite easy to miss.
Good.
Stand 4 was a left to right and right to left crosser. The speed of these things caught plenty of people out.
Missed it straight over the top with not enough lead. Deceptively edgy target, that first one. Second one, nice and simple, just pull through it. But that first one, you see it for so long. As Jake said, I should have just got at it more, really.
Stand 5 was a flying rabbit and right to left crosser.
There's some power difference right there.
Yeah, it is.
I spent the last few days learning to shoot the clays here, and after I had that lesson with Chuck just to stare at the front edge, slow down, a little bit less gun movement for these targets because you can't shoot them with the power that I'm used to shooting English style or English weighted targets with. A rabbit can't back as a Shotgun too. Missed the first one clean behind. I'm so used to just planting the gun and slow moves. Jake did me. It's a good pair. Moved on. Report pair. Nice to just come shoot a nice pair of easy rolling targets. Traded it, as one should with simple targets. Thank you. This is a happy squad. I like the happy squad. An event like this, like any competition, should be enjoyable. Sometimes the targets are tough, and that's enjoyable for people like me. But you know, a lot of the guys coming here don't shoot that regularly. I don't mind shooting a terrible score as long as the targets were worthy of said score. A lot of people who come here are only shooting a few times a year. You don't want to beat people up with targets.
Stand 7 was a left to right midi and a right to left incomer,
The first one come out, you left.
for which Jake really ramped up his game.
Second one come out right at you. No,
Whoa.
that one.
A proper sneaky pair that made you really complacent.
Technically, these aren't hard targets, but everyone's had one slip away. I'm up last. I can't admit that's good for confidence. You!
It's double. One is double. It's double.
I have no control. I gave him $100 to do that.
Another stand in the bank. We're being lovingly followed round by the shooting manager, the overall factor, the course setter. I think they're enjoying, firstly, watching us miss targets, but more importantly, watching me miss targets.
Stand 8 was a left to right going away teal target, true pair.
There we go. Don't do what I did the first time and think they were easy.
Stand 9 was in another little clearing, a little oasis cut into the jungle with a lovely casita to get out of the sun. The right to left batu here needed some gap. The open ground here was a welcome break. Trying to judge the distance of clays in thick jungle was a skill I needed to develop.
I mean, thanks for your
pressure.
Your love and affection coming round. You're here as moral support, really. They come from a long way back here. If you hold your gun far too back, I think the weight disconnects your mind. You can't see it out the trap arm. Good pair. Oscar, the best Dominican shot I've ever met.
You haven't bet many then.
We're over halfway, and you're doing very well.
Yes, I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
You come here regularly?
Twice a month.
Ah, so this is why he's so good. Both ran a 7 out of 8 on that station.
Yes.
It's respectable.
It is.
That little chandelle is
Dipping pretty quickly. Second bird is much faster than the first.
good pair. I mean, I'm having fun. As you said earlier, there aren't many places in the world with cactus in a jungle.
No, it's just as much fun to look at all the scenery as it is to shoot the birds.
Being
and the
here
presentations are
a
fantastic.
privilege in itself. But we have one stand left
Yes,
at the tower.
and I'm first.
It was time to get back to the crucible of Casa de Campo, that huge and magnificent tower. This thing had been asserting its dominance on me all trip.
These are some slightly bigger targets.
As ever, I was going to leave it a king or a victim.
Adam, I hear you're responsible for making these hard stands at the end of the shoot.
Not at all.
I'm blaming you.
Yeah,
It's all on
everybody
your
else
shoulders.
seems to be. We had a little tweak this morning.
Every time I see that tower, I am utterly impressed. I love the fact that it's got clear blue skies above it. What I don't love is that second target. Edgy and fast and curling and hittable, clearly, but we'll see how consistent we can do it. And engage brain a little more again. Must be. Finally!
You tried it there.
Yeah, and it was worked best over there.
Then you shot it finally when it was nearly in the car park.
I was trying to save people headaches after dropping clays on them after 5 minutes. On the wall here in the shooting centre, pride of place, are all the previous winners dating back to 1988, the original winner of the Sugar Invitational Sporting Clays Tournament. It's now expanded just from a Sporting Clays tournament. We have the Handicap Challenge, the 5-stand, the Guberman Cup, which is the overall winner, the Driven Bird shooting, the Pigeon shooting. There's a lot of opportunities here. I love that once you've won an event, your name's taken out the hat so that every year you have 7 or 8 different names on the board across each of the different disciplines.
We had a much needed lunch and I caught up with my frenemy, Mr. Jake Pike.
Great course, Jake. You did me, and I saw you enjoyed doing me through silly first misses.
Yeah.
Destroyed my card completely.
Whole object of the course was to pick your pocket and not beat you to death.
You played with speed a lot.
Yeah.
And that is what I think I found most difficult. The one I found most difficult, I straighted. And that was that midi that curled across your face and that incoming standard that came in at Mach 9. But by God, I had to concentrate.
Yeah.
That demanded a lot. There's nothing scary, just easy.
Slow and steady, pick away at you.
It's a good course, man. And you should be proud.
I'll go along the same lines tomorrow. You'll see some different things out there. See how much enjoyment it gives me when you go round again and I can...
And we're the first out again, so great. Plans for 2024. The Sugar Shoot obviously will be happening again.
The
Do you reckon there might be a chance of a more open version of the event?
Definitely. I would like to put on another event like the Sugar Shoot, but open to everybody. That is in the plans for the very near future.
Can I come? Am I allowed back?
Yeah, we'll let you back. Well shot, Johnny. Let's grab some lunch. And...
Thanks, mate.
You may be surprised to know that this place is actually affordable, with clays, cartridges and buggy hire being the same price as any top clay shooting facility. There's a variety of accommodation as well, from hotel rooms to exclusive villas and everything in between. Before the day was done, it would be rude not to try my hand at the 5-stand competition. The facilities for this 5-stand are world class. Never have I seen such a 5-stand layout that I thought looked so straightable. Until of course you are faced with those devilishly tricky sim pairs. Over this session, Andres shot himself 2 24 out of 25s and I shot a few 23 out of 25s.
25 is doable on this 5-stand, right?
It is.
It must be.
I'll tell you, it looks a lot easier than it is, but it's quite technical. We're so lucky to have Promatic have set up the 5-stand for us and everything. And
I think I might have to shoot the flush.
let's do it.
How do you feel about that?
Let's do it.
All right.
This was a flush of 50 targets, including the 5-stand targets and 3 special extras.
This could be messy, or it could be brilliant. We're about to find out.
They came out in a random order of 2s, 3s, and 4s. And tested your shooting ability, your teamwork, and your communication. The more you shoot a flush with a teammate, the better you get working together. But shooting a flush with someone new is also loads of fun. Having shot enough cartridges to satisfy me for a month, the sun drew down over Casa de Campo. And we headed to the marina for a few beers and some epic seafood. Every spot and suburb here of Casa de Campo could be its own holiday destination. There's something in the air at Casa de Campo that just forces you to feel happy. And maybe, just maybe, that would help with my shooting.
Welcome to day 2 of the main event, up the top of the 110-foot tower. I couldn't come here and resist climbing this. I've been asking since day 1. You can see all across Casa de Campo, up to the mountains at Rancho Peligro, out to La Romana. The view is incredible. I'm glad we climbed it. In about half an hour after we've climbed down, we've got to shoot the clays. The second round of 100 bird sporting. We're gonna see how we get on. We're on at 9:20 with Delta, and then can I go up to that 5-stand? One last try for a 25. I'm gonna try a bead on my gun today. Since changed my eyes 7 months ago, it's been a bit of a developing process to see what I like, relearning how to shoot certain targets. And I'm doing okay, but then occasionally those going away targets, I can't seem to lock onto them quite as well as I could before. Probably because I'm actually focusing, I can focus on the target and not just the gun. But I've taken a few guns out with beads and just shot a few of these, and I seem to be able to hit them a bit more consistently. Whether that cocks up all my crosses, well, we'll find out today. But guys, what a view. What a view. So just pinched a bead out the 28 gauge, chucked it in my gun. Most interested in the number 4 target, which I have a proclivity to miss spectacularly. Maybe a bead will just actually help me lock in and make better decisions. So far, so good. It's actually kind of nice to have a reference at the end of the gun. One presumes through the whole eyesight thing, we all try to hack physical issues, whether that's movement or eyesight, and I've certainly found it easier to shoot without a bead for a long period of time, and I still do, but so far, so good.
You know, this whole bead situation was immediately working. So I headed into the jungle with an open mind.
I'm up first again, yeah. 2 going away targets by the look of it, which I've historically not shot very well.
So we got some true pairs here. Is everybody ready to see them?
Yes, please.
Stand 1 nerves are something I've always suffered with. But today, after a good few nights sleep and a little confidence boost on the 5-stand, I stepped up to the peg more ready to go than ever before. And walked out with an 8.
There we go. The bead's working for me. Whatever happens the rest of the day, at least I scored 8.
We moved on to stand 2, an overhead clay followed by a low nasty one. I put thought into my moves and walked out with another 8 breaks.
Imagine the pressure of having US Open and George sat behind you.
Although the course route was the same, the course had been flipped overnight to a completely new layout. The sunken grouse butt had a sim pair of going away targets that tricked the eyes and required perfect hold point discipline. The brakes kept coming and I walked out with another 8. There really was something in the air. A quick water stop and onto stand 4. On the menu was a pair of in-your-face grouse-style targets. The sort that turn into balls of soot when you connect. Woefully, I returned to form, missing one of the right-hand targets with great style.
Oh, well, there's my straight gone.
That's all I was worried about.
That is sneakier than it looks, that right-hand target.
Feel short?
I mean, you found your calling.
Nicely shot.
Next up was flushing quail on report. A 60mm going away, followed by a standard quartering away. Having had the opportunity to shoot quail in real life and see the masters of this art at work, I strangely felt way more confident on their clay disc cousins. 8 out of 8.
Decoyed pigeon. So all of the stands today have a slightly different name and different theme. Yesterday they had technical explanations. Today they've just got a name. And the targets are what they are.
Full of confidence and control, another full house.
Thank you very much. Another 8.
I was lucky to be joined on this squad by Delta and Ed, who are clearly my lucky charms.
I don't think it's easier than yesterday because the timing and the technicality is right, but definitely more awake than I was yesterday. Wake up, morning coffee, and actually like 6.5 hours sleep. So turns out it takes about 5 days to get rid of jet lag.
Good excuse.
I was up first into stand 7, another Jake Pike special with targets of 2 very different speeds on report. Targets like this force solid fundamentals and testing even the best laid plans.
Talent, not fashion. I have the same thing. Spectacular and heroic shooting trumps good shots in my brain.
Stand 8 was similar, with a trap bird that needed a real reactive shot mixed with a 30-yard soft, slow looper that needed a different approach and different footwork.
I can't help but be quite happy. Should have put a bead back on that gun years ago.
Stand 9 in that jungle clearing.
So it's about setting a bar. I know what I'm going to be happy with on this. Obviously you hope for a straight, but nothing's guaranteed. Heads up first.
Left to right looper and a right to left crosser. A hero would break that right to left crosser off the trap arm, but I decided to wait until it was floating in front of my face. Next up was a pair of high crossers. Honestly, I just walked into the stand too confident. Potentially there's something harder about shooting the same course with a different layout.
Hey, it had to happen at some point.
The 7.
I'll take it, thank you.
Because you can easily fall into the last time I did it like this mindset, right?
It's the most technical pair we've seen so far. Very hard to find a line on the first and second and not get that broken in your brain.
This was a proper stand. A 50-yard looping teal with an edge-on, quartering, dropping, going away rocket on report. Honestly, I did not mind missing these.
I'll take a 7. Yeah, well done. That second one was so easily missed.
You know how I feel about the tower, right? Well, Jake had this as our final destination once again. Luckily, I had just enough gas left in the tank to pull these driven beasts down.
Couldn't we have finished on another stand, Jake? Oh! Get up! That is the best score of my life. A 90-7. Let's get to the pool, baby.
Okay, so it may not have been the hardest of courses, but I can assure you, it was far from the easiest you have ever shot as well. Today was just my day.
A 97 on the Sporting, a 23 on the 5 stand. That's not a bad way to start a morning. I might have another go at the 5 stand. One of my misses there was totally unacceptable. The others, I've been jaked out of those. That's absolutely fine. For now, we're gonna grab some lunch because both me and Sasha are tired. Been working hard this morning, concentrating hard. Fancy some Gatorade? So I actually brought my own gun with me. This is easier to get a gun into the Dominican Republic than it is for me to get a gun into Europe. The process was smoother, everything was a lot easier. Let Jake know all the details at least 6 to 8 weeks in advance. Arrive at the airport, they drag you out the queue, they take you through customs faster than anyone else. And you go into customs, they check your guns against your paperwork, and then a team from Casa de Campo, who are licensed gun carriers, will take your guns to here. It was a little disconcerting to give my guns to someone who I'd met for about 5 minutes. But at the end of the day, they arrived here perfectly safe. I thought I'd come and check out the pigeon shooting. We're not going to be looking at that too much in this video, but as a Brit, this is fascinating to me. They do box pigeons and columbari over there. There's not many places in the world where you can just come and do that as a shooter. This is one of the more beautiful pigeon shooting facilities I've been to.
Given the politics and emotion behind live pigeon shooting, we're going to move swiftly on. But if this is your jam, this is a hell of a place to do it.
Throughout the weekend, the scores have been going up live on this board. And it's interesting to see who's done what, where they missed what. You've got some beastly scores in here. 192 out of 200, 193 out of 200. Award ceremony tonight. We'll see who wins. You can only win one event, so you never know who's going to win what. Because if you win the sporting clays, you can't win the 410, then you can't win the pigeons, you can't win the 5 stand. So it can really even itself out.
The sun drew down over Casa de Campo once more. This really is a slice of heaven. The golf courses are vast and awe-inspiring. The beach is straight off of a screensaver. We continued driving all the way to a place called Altos Chavon, a recreated medieval village. This place is wild and has an amazing taco restaurant that we went to a little too much. It was time for the awards and a catch up with one of our fantastic hosts, Pepe Faneuil Jr.
I think we all loved it, we all enjoyed it, and it seems to be getting better and better. Jake has come through with flying colors every time, even when I miss a clay and I think of him badly,
A huge congratulations to the winners. There was some serious talent out there.
Gosh, this event, even before this event even began, Johnny, there was all these great legendary Cuban shooters that began all of this with my father, and then he started the Sugar Invitational. And we've been so blessed. It's a great gathering of friends who are passionate for their friendships and their shooting. And
the quality of people here, the friends that you make almost instantaneously are so special.
Absolutely.
So special. Everyone is here for a shared passion of guns, shooting.
We treasure having you down here with us and making a friendship with you, and you're a legend in really what you're doing as a young man.
Thank you.
Bringing shooting to so many enthusiasts in the way that you do it, and this will be a very memorable 36th annual Sugar Invitational having you down here.
100%.
And congratulations to you on an outstanding score today. 97, my friend.
Even a blind squirrel finds a nut now and again.
I guess that's right.
I held it together. I just about learned. Jake, oh, what a man. His targets are, him as a human being are lovely. He's lovely, but him and his targets can go to hell.
Right.
Never have I been presented with something that looks so easy that is so easily missed.
Yeah. He's a tricky man, that guy.
Thank you very much.
Great. Great to be with you. Thank you, Johnny.
And you.
It was almost time to head back to reality, but before we headed home, we had one final hurrah at the 5 stand. But this time, we played at night.
He dead.
Oh.
I'm feeling the pressure.
How's the...
Feeling the pressure.
Oh.
Oh. But may I claim the victory? I beat TGS.
You are TGS. Well, that was a good way to end a great week.
Good fun.
Mate, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You shot pretty well.
There were some ups and downs.
I have to say you did shoot well.
Thank you very much. Great courses on both days. Started to learn your targets on that last day and not to miss any.
Yeah.
Usually
I noticed by your score.
Well,
47 round there, that's pretty good for you.
How does one sum up this experience other than mind-blowing? Between the place, the quality of the company and the generosity of our hosts, it's been a lot to process. For me, the shooting centre is a home away from home, and is somewhere I already yearn to return to. To go back and experience the warm welcome from the staff, the jungle scenery, the great targets, and even Jake's dumb jokes is something I'm really looking forward to. The wider resort is unlike anywhere I've ever been, with facilities beyond my wildest dreams. Thanks for sharing this journey with me. There's still so much left to show you, with wild dove shooting and driven pheasant shooting that we experienced on the trip coming to the channel soon. Guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.